China's Communist Party Congress is meeting in Beijing this week, where it's likely to confirm Xi Jinping for a third term as leader. Xi's absolute control of Chinese politics has drawn comparisons to Mao Zedong, but his government has seen protests rare in China against its zero-COVID policy. China's economy is also struggling due to pandemic restrictions and sanctions from the West. But despite the gathering storm clouds, Xi Jinping has shown no signs of changing his foreign or domestic policies. Let's talk to Reinhard Bütikofer, a member of the European Parliament for the Green Party and chair of the European Parliament's China delegation. Mr. Bütikofer, thank you very much for being on DW News. We've already heard from Xi Jinping, who's being celebrated, or has celebrated rather himself, China's growing global influence, saying that its power to shape the world has significantly increased. Is that something that worries you?
Well, it is obviously a fact that China's leadership is today more self-confident than they have been in many years. And indeed, China's leverage has grown with different policies like the Belt and Road, for instance. But I would not unequivocally sign on to Xi's description of the overall situation, because China has also been losing quite a lot on many fronts. It may not be that much of a concern to the Chinese communist leadership that they are going down the drain as far as public opinion around Europe is concerned, but also in some countries of the global south, notably including in Africa, there are question marks about the real intention of China's hegemonic policies that you had not seen a couple of years ago. So it's a more mixed picture, and I think effectively Xi's aggressive foreign policy is undercutting China's progress as a leading world power.
What about China's tacit support of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, though? Its threats towards Taiwan and its attitude towards human rights in Hong Kong and its treatments of the Uyghur minority. That certainly worsened EU-China relations in recent years. How should the EU be reacting to that?
Well, different EU institutions have been more or less outspoken on all these issues. I would claim that the European Parliament has been a leader in voicing adequate criticism. We have raised all the issues in several resolutions of the European Parliament that have found overwhelming support. Only left-wing and right-wing extremists dissented from our common position. Commission, if you look carefully, is also enhancing, for instance, the economic relationship with Taiwan, as is Germany, to cite one member state. So there are changes developing, and I think there's more awareness around Europe today and more cohesion also on that basis, that China is posing threats to our values, our interests, and our democratic way of life. And there's increasingly a willingness to also address that. So, for instance, in the Human Rights Council of the United Nations, we lost the vote over having a debate about the Human Rights High Commissioner's report on Xinjiang. But what has not been commented a lot was the fact that this was the first time ever European countries and like-minded partners even tried to have a vote on China's human rights record. So increasingly, we're standing up for what we believe.
OK, let's see what happens, and hopefully there is some movement from Europe's side. Reinhard Bütikofer, member of the European Parliament for the Green Party and chair of the European Parliament's China delegation. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.